Referring to a rookie as a great player goes against everything I've been taught as a journalist. You're supposed to be cool and calm and not hyperbolic and wait to see some proof. No, not in this case. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Pirates 3, Marlins 2 last night at PNC Park. And even though the luster of a Paul Skenes start has been reduced thanks to the gross mismanagement of this operation by Ben Cherington, Derek Shelton, and everybody else, Skenes himself never stops being excellent. And all he did last night was strike out 9 Miami batters, walk only 1, lower his ERA to 2.1, and continue to make not a compelling case to be National League Rookie of the Year, but a definitive case to be that. Oh, and one other thing. He set the franchise record for strikeouts by a rookie in reaching 151, and for some context on that, the only other pitchers since the turn of the previous century to have that many strikeouts through their first 20 games, Kerry Wood, back when he was just absolutely magic at Wrigley Field with 179 in 1998, Hideo Nomo, 175 in 1995, Doc Gooden with 162 in 1984, and speaking of Wrigley Field, Mark Pryor with 154 in 2002. That's some pretty good company. But even then, you don't stop with Skenes in thinking of just guys who fill a certain specific category like that. You think way, way bigger because he doesn't allow you to not think way, way bigger. He is legitimately great. Using it here in the entire journalistic sense, he is legitimately great already at age 22. And there's nothing to stop him. In fact, I don't believe that anything will stop him from being even greater. As I've shared with you guys many times over the course of the past year, in my conversations with him, no matter what it is that I'll bring up related to baseball, he'll talk about how he's going to use it to upgrade himself, not just over his next start, not just the next time out, but a year from now, 2 years from now. He once referenced to me something that he thinks will help him 15 years from now. That actually came up in spring training. That's who this is. He's not blown away by anything in the moment, but he will consider it. He'll weigh it. He'll file it somewhere in the back of his C drive and process it. This was Skenes' reaction after the game last night at PNC Park to the strikeout record.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Just got to keep going.
Yep, big whoop, huh? And that's the other part of this that's neat. He's legitimately humble. It's not an act. It's not something that he puts on. He'll defer to his elders, whether that's in the clubhouse or the coaches or in any setting that, as he was telling me a week ago in Cleveland, is one that involves people he sees as being on the inside. But at the same time, he has an awareness that the expectation, not externally, but his own, is to be great. We're not unfamiliar, of course, in Pittsburgh with an athlete having to deal with both sides of that, meaning you don't want to be someone who says, hey, I'm great. Okay? What you want is someone who carries themselves with class, like a Mario Lemieux, like a Sidney Crosby, like a Ben Roethlisberger, like a Troy Polamalu, like an Andrew McCutchen, and yet to know that they're supposed to be at a certain level. This kid's doing that now. So there's really, no reason to wait on assessing him for exactly what he is. When we come back, J1Q. This portion of Daily Shot of Pirates is brought to you by our friends at North Shore Tavern. That's directly across Federal Street from PNC Park. It's home of Steak on a Stone, an eating experience, underscoring the word experience. The steak is brought to you partially cooked on an 800-degree stone, and you do the rest. It's a ton of fun, it's a great meal, and it's a baseball atmosphere like no other in Pittsburgh. North Shore Tavern, right across Federal Street from PNC Park.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Les, who says DK with Endy Rodriguez playing first base in addition to catcher in Altoona. What other successful teams value positional flexibility like these Pirates? Player development of this team has so few wins over the past 5 years. Why should any fan believe that they won't mess up Endy as well? Well, you're asking that in the future tense, Les, and maybe forgetting that they might already have been somewhat responsible for that by allowing him to catch in winter ball, which was where he became injured and where he would then need elbow surgery that cost him, obviously, this entire year of development. So let's not rule that out before we get to the future tense. Speaking only for myself, and I don't have a vote in their process, to say the least, I'm not a big fan of positional flexibility even being a thing in the minors until a player comes of a certain age where it's clear that he can't be an everyday type in the majors. And for me, that's like 25. So in the same spirit in which I credited Ben Cherington on this program yesterday for going out and getting Joey Bart, even though he's a catcher, and that seemed like the last position this organization would need, you still go and get the talent and then let the talent play itself out. What you don't do is look at what's in Pittsburgh, or worse, what's in Indianapolis or somewhere else, and say, got to move him off of that position. Or, gee, wouldn't it be nice if our manager at PNC Park was able to move so-and-so all over creation? Why, imagine the possibilities. We could have the next Alika Williams or Jared Triolo. But that's how they think. They think small. They really do. It's something that I've seen in them for a long time and feel like I haven't criticized them on that count enough over the years. You know what thinking small is? Thinking small is bringing Henry Davis up because you need offense, and not having the full picture in advance, which you're kind of required to do with really, really, really important decisions like this, of how much sticking him in right field might mess him up, speaking of messing people up. Did Henry take that into the batter's box? I don't know. Did it linger? If it did, I don't know, but I can't rule any of that stuff out either. That season was shot. Why not just have Henry catch? Why not see what he could do at the position at which you drafted him number 1 overall? They wouldn't even do it in late innings of blowouts. So no, my answer to you, Les, is I don't trust them to do that. I don't trust them to do much of anything after 5 years of this level of failure. I really don't. Least of all when it comes to development. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one tomorrow.